some of all peeps. They love to join us every Thursday. We're here for you guys.
Please.
I'm sorry.
No, I thought you were done.
No, you go ahead.
I was telling everyone, people are just not introduced themselves yet. So please, down in the chat, it says begin the conversation, enter your name and where you are from.
We have Joyce in the house. She made it to David.
Oh,
She's
Joyce.
going to be in our tour starting this Sunday.
I was in David this morning, Joyce. I didn't see you. Huh. I'm going to clean my glasses. Okay. All right. Kansas
Melanie wants to come on live.
Okay, Melanie, we will get you in the house shortly. I can just add you to the bottom. Okay. So on tonight's Q&A, before we introduce ourselves, I'm just going to say this is a wide open Q&A. Ask anything and we will do our darndest to answer it. And you can type it in the chat, or you can type the word live and we'll bring you into the studio, camera and mic, and you can ask your question directly. And we love to meet new folks who do that. So as everyone else is, pretty soon we'll turn the chat off to general comments and it will be questions only, but let's do a quick introduction of who we are for a bunch of these names I haven't seen before.
Alrighty. Oh, we have Bill and Jonah just got married in David.
Oh, congratulations.
Where's that the couple we were saying should get married in David?
We were invited, Bill, Jonah, we were invited.
Yeah.
I don't remember the invite.
All right, we're going to do a quick introduction and then we will jump into all of your questions and maybe bring some of you guys on live. So I do see some new names here. So we'll tell you guys who we are. We're Retiring Panama Tours, and we offer a few different products to help people check out Panama and help get moved here and get settled really smooth, seamlessly if they decide that Panama is for them. So we do our 7-day cross-country tour, our 3-day Cherokee Highlands tour, and then also our Panama Total Access Pass, which I think Rod will get into a little bit more, but it's been really popular lately for people who maybe already know exactly where they want to move or are already familiar with Central or South America and just need a little bit of support to get set up here. So I'm Megan. I'm our operations director. I'm originally from Pennsylvania and moved to Panama in 2018 with the Peace Corps. About a year in, met my husband Oscar and ended up staying here, moving to Boquete where he was at, and have now been living here in Boquete for like 6 years now, and absolutely love it. We have a little 2.5-year-old, and so I spend most of my time now with our son and also doing a lot of the logistics, operations for the tours, making sure all of our guests are ready to come on tour with us, help them move to Panama and all of those logistical things. So if you do come on with us, I'll be working closely with you to make sure everything goes smoothly.
Okay. My name is Rod Larrabee. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. Moved here 13 and a half years ago and love it. Never going back. Now, I moved here a little younger. I wasn't retired yet. I'm now just reached retirement age, but now Oscar won't let me. So I have to wait a few more years. Okay. But when I moved here, I did it the wrong way. I had no information besides the very few YouTube videos that were online and the information about Panama from the government agencies and stuff. I packed my bags, I bought a ticket, and I moved to Panama. I sold everything back in Canada. And within the first 2 months, I got in trouble here. I had the wrong people trying to help me. I had people that didn't have my best intentions, and I was almost ready to go back. I was so frustrated. I was losing money. I had a vehicle registered in someone else's name. It was just a nightmare. And I came to this little town of Boquete, and I went with a friend and talked to the owners of businesses throughout this town and told them the situation I was in. I was new and I needed help. They would, take their business card and I'm not going to show you because you can't see me, barely see me anyways, and write down a name and I put it in my back pocket, carried on to the next guy. Got home that night. I picked out these cards, and it was Oscar Pena, Oscar Pena, Oscar Pena. They all referred to the same guy, this guy who had already been here several years before me, helping expats move to Panama. Well, we met. He fixed all my problems within no time, and we became friends. We became business partners, and here we sit today.
Now we're family.
There we go. And that is my story. So, Oscar, you go on.
I am the guy.
Yeah.
But don't worry, I usually know a guy.
Yeah, you know a guy.
I am Oscar Pena, originally from Cali, Colombia. It's gonna be, I was wrong about how many years to be in Panama, but I thought it was gonna be 17, but it's only gonna be 16 this year. 16 years. I got here August 2009, and I have a background, staying in the background of hotel and tourism industry, hospitality focus. And I just loved, since my background working in Costa Rica for 3 years and a half, I just love the boutique and personalized service. That's why when Rod and we jumped into this, and we met, and I met my amazing wife. That she's the brain of this operation. Besides Rod, to do a same operation, something that is unique, something that is more personal, something that is more customized to every single one of our peeps. That's why we have right now different services like the 7-day tours that we only do once a month in order to follow up with all of you. And we do every other month the 3-day Chiriquí Highlands. And the new product that we are successfully moving forward is our beautiful book. Which book? I'll show you. This book. In this book, when you get the gold or the platinum, you have access to a lot of information. You have access unconditionally to us. And most important is a very small investment will save you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. On top of that, a peace of mind. So that's why it's such a huge investment. It is one of our best assets we have come up together besides our tours, because why would you do our tours? That's for the people the first time to see Panama. It's about to learn about the culture and how things are done here in Panama. So
Yeah.
this is what we are.
Or some people can't take a tour. Some people are ready to do this now.
Yeah.
Sorry, we can't, like at the end of September, we can take you, but we can't, we're all sold out.
Mhm.
This is the product for you. And this members area, honestly, guys, it is our Rolodex of our combined 30 years experience in Panama, the three of us, every contact, we have some obscure contacts that might not be in because not everyone needs a gardener in Panama, but all you got to do is reach out to us, and we know somebody there that will find you the right guy.
Mhm.
And so we have everything from immigration to lawyers, health insurance experts, rentals and real estate people, lawyers, shipping companies, mail forwarding services, banks, and all these things have the contact information for all these people. Professional brokers with vehicles, moving your pets, driver's licenses, professional drivers, and half and full day tours across the country. We have people that we have personally vetted across this country who can give you a day tour at Coronado, give you a day tour at Panama City or David or Boquete, drive you to a medical appointment, like help you get your driver's license, all that stuff. List of hospitals and clinics throughout the country. List of veteran services throughout the country. Private schools. Yeah, we have every decent, well-known private school listed in our members area. Planning your wills and estates. How to do 911. It's just everything. So that is it. We should. Oh, you just find it at Panama Total Access Pass. I apologize. You guys are saying, where do I even see this product? Take a look. I just put the link into the members area. Take a look. There's two levels. One is gold and one is platinum. The difference between the two is how much access you have to the three of us. With both of them, you're going to have some access. We have, like recently, we have a younger couple They bought land in this amazing surfing beach community in Boquete, and then
In
realized,
Panama.
sorry, in Boquete,
Mhm.
in Panama on the west coast, south coast, and they realized now what? So they found our product, and boom, Megan and I had a 1 hour Zoom one-on-one conference with them and figured out exactly a checklist for them what they need to do. So they have since, this was 2 weeks ago. They have since met with lawyers, friendly nations. So they can start working with their builders, get their visas done. They've met with multiple moving companies to get the stuff out of LA, put it in storage until they need it in where they're moving to. They're talking with health insurance this week coming up with our health insurance expat. I'm working with them to move a pet. Also, who's going to be buying a car for them. That's what the Panama Total Access Pass is all about, folks.
Make things easier in a foreign country, in a foreign culture, and also to make sure that you become a happy expat.
Now, I put the link in the chat for you to see. We're going to start with questions. Now, get all your
First,
questions.
we have Melanie waiting
I
for
think
us.
Melanie has a question
Yeah.
for us.
We have
Yes.
Melanie down at the bottom.
So
Get
for
Melanie
Either
on
a shout out, or a
Let's bring up-
question. Let us know.
Okay, there we go. Melanie, how are you?
Melanie,
Ah,
Hello.
buenas
Good.
tardes.
good to see you again.
Good to see y'all too.
When are you moving to Panama?
I'm working on it.
Great.
Don't worry,
Super.
dear. Don't we won't.
It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. We're here.
Yeah,
I know.
very good.
I'm coming.
Yeah, any questions or things you want to tell the folks here? When did you come
Not
with
my-
us? That was in
It's in last year. It would have been last year now, right?
last year. I'm trying to
Yes,
think
it
of
was in December actually.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. It's just over 6 months ago.
Yeah,
Right
about
on?
6 months ago.
I was hoping I'd be there by then, but things have been coming up, so
Oh, well.
I'm still working on it.
Deal with those. Hey, the good thing is you're still young. So you got lots
Yes.
of time there.
Yeah. Young, full of energy. Just make sure you find those little details and come home. You're home here.
Perfect. All
I can't
right.
wait.
Well, thank you so much for popping in and saying hi.
Did you have any question for us?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you. Yes, tell us.
Well, it just left my mind.
Okay.
Sorry.
How about you? It's good to
Okay.
see, honey, and to have a little chat with you. We always connect on social media. We always do. You know that.
All right. Talk later.
Good. Melanie's
Bye-bye.
gonna be here soon.
Yeah.
We've been working together.
Yeah,
here.
yeah. I'm looking forward to see her. Is she moving here with us?
Of
Yeah.
course. You wouldn't go anywhere else.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Now, here's the thing, folks. Panama is such a gorgeous country, and there's so many places to be in this country. In Boquete, it works for many people, but doesn't work for everybody. One of the things that we always suggest is the two-way the tour, because seeing the country in a week, you have a better grasp of the country and the feeling, and also understanding which area, weather, things are done, and amenities can be worked for better. So sometimes people follow they move to a country, just follow to some reviews, but no experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Now let's get on with Wanda. Wanda wants to be on a swimmable beach near fishing and not too far from Panama City. What do we recommend?
So beach, no far from PC, within
There's so
an hour and a
many,
half, 2 hours.
so many
That's the
beach
closest.
communities to choose from outside
Yeah.
of the city. That
Yeah.
a lot of them you can schedule a sports fishing boat to take you out.
Yeah, Panama West Province are amazing for that facilities. In Panama Province, there is some communities on beachfront. One is called Playa Dorada. It's a Panamanian gated community, and it's literally only 40 minutes outside the city. It is affordable. Yes, it's right there on the Pacific. So there is also local fishermen that can take you out there, and you have all the goodies from the sea, daily basics. Close to Arraijan, which you will have no Arraijan or Bacamonte, which you will have a mall. You will have services. You will also be close to Costa del Este. There is a Price Mart. There is car dealerships. There is plazas, shopping malls, so you don't really need to go to Panama City unless you want to just go specifically or you want to fly out, which you want to plan ahead with the timing. Okay. And then it's Panama West. You got Chame, you got San Carlos, Palmar, Rio Hato. I mean, it's just so much to pick.
Yeah, Rod's doing a little map right now to show you guys.
Yeah, just
Basically,
explain.
The whole
Mhm.
all west of Panama City along the Pacific coast, from about 45 minutes to 2 hours outside of the Panama City, you have a whole range of community
Mhm.
options there.
Yeah. And also, if you want to be swimmable, you can be also close to Playa Veracruz, which is just passing the Americas Bridge. Veracruz is also close to Panama Pacifico, aka Old Howard. They used to be U.S. military. So closer, Panama Pacifico, the whole area has new projects for housing, apartments, and it's very safe too.
Mhm.
And you got the ocean prime location too.
Great. So that, I think, fulfills your question on
Yep.
the beaches area nearest Panama City.
But Wanda, take a tour with us.
There we
So
go.
you get a better.
You will
better-
see all those areas we just mentioned.
No, you won't see those specific areas, but you will see the Panama West province, and then you'll be.
You'll
taking
see a
next
couple
one.
of those.
Yes.
Yeah, or if you want to do Panama Total Access Pass, and we can connect you with some really reputable people in that area to get you even more detailed into those
Mhm.
neighborhoods.
Okay, next question. How do people ship e-bikes to Panama? Hey, Terry, quite easily. I did it myself. There's no problem with the battery on sea freight. You cannot ship it air freight. It's going to be too expensive anyways. So I shipped my e-bike brand new from a store in the US. And so it was already in a bike box, which is a great idea. I'll talk to you in a second how to solve that. And so it was in a bike box, so it wasn't going to get damaged. It was 70 pounds. And most of the sea freight guys in Panama City, once you get here, these are the guys that just deliver Amazon products, but they also offer a sea freight option. And most of them are around $2.25 a pound. So it cost me about $160 to ship my e-bike. Now, if you have an existing e-bike that you want to bring, go to your local e-bike store and get yourself a. They fold up and crumple up and cardboard recycle all their bike boxes. Get them to hold you one and pick it up. Pack it really, really nice. Get your bike in there. Take the front wheel off and flip it around so you get so it can fit in your bike box. And once you're here, or before you're here, and again in the members area, every single town has their set of freight forwarders that do this type of stuff. And like I say, no problem whatsoever with sea freight and batteries. You're good to go. Bring the e-bike here. You'll have fun. Mm-hmm.
Jonathan, can you live in Volcan and not have a car? Do people use motorcycles like a Vespa?
There can be in Volcan if you're in the central area and don't have a car. That's no problem. Do people use motorcycle like a Vespa? Yes, not that many. It's not that common motorcycle. Most people use a Vespa are just for urban area, not for traveling from town to town, because a motorcycle, well, I mean, is a Vespa. So, but yeah, in Panama City, it's more common than most places. You have to make sure if you want a Vespa, you want to make sure there is a dealership. In David, Cherokee, there is a dealership for Vespa. My suggestion, get a motorcycle. If you really want to get a motorcycle, you can get easy service. In my humble opinion, get a Honda, a Suzuki, or a Kawasaki. Those three brands.
There we go. Don't forget though, we have a rainy season, which is 8 months out of the year. And I had a motorcycle here first. I thought they would do me. And it's very difficult once you get into the heavier rainy season, always carrying your rain gear and pulling over near the
No,
bus stops to stay
yeah,
dry.
but not just that. In Volcan, you don't want a Vespa.
Yeah.
No. You want something that you can go off road. So yeah, get a Honda 390. That will be a good motorcycle that I can take you around. If you want to go off road, you can do it. You have some power, and it will keep you safer. Yes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. We are going to move on here. Belinda, definitely we'll see you on Sunday. You're also on our Cherokee Highlands tour. We have several people on this call tonight that are on our Cherokee Highlands tour. Our next one in August has 2 spots left. What do you think of Delega, Joyce? If you want to give a first impression, type it in the chat. Okay, there we go.
Sorry, our amazing Megan had to leave her to the house because the little one was having a situation, but all good.
Okay, we're all good. Okay, let's talk about the easiest way to bring a vehicle into Panama. Well, there's only 2 ways: ship it or drive it.
I will not suggest driving
Yeah.
because there's so many races who just beat the head with the car.
Yeah.
I will say cheap a vehicle. I will suggest do it as long as it's something you can get maintenance in Panama and you can have parts, or you just own it and you know you gotta be. If it's your baby, let's say you have a classic and it's your baby, I understand that. I love cars and I do have a dummy baby too, so
Mhm.
you do it, but you have to own it. Now, let's say somebody have a Jeep Wrangler. Most North Americans love the Wranglers. Yes, you can bring it. It's a good car, especially if it has low mileage. Just to have to understand that here in Panama, it might be a little more tricky to find the parts, or maybe somebody who can work. But if you know your car, you know how to do maintenance. Yeah, that's the situations are different. So all depending on the vehicle. But if your vehicle is something that has been already, if it's brand new, no, doesn't make any sense because you lose your guarantee of your
Yeah.
dealership. So that's not make any sense. Now you have to remember the specifications of the fuel in Panama are different than North America because we don't have that many regulations. So that means our premium is your regular in North America. So you might have to do some modifications in your newer vehicle. Here in Panama, a lot of vehicles like SUVs and pickup trucks are diesel engines because the same situation they will have many regulations. So they're all different situations.
And be prepared to pay. It's not inexpensive, depending on where you're living. If you're just living in Florida, you're looking at $3,000 to ship. But if you are in North Dakota, guess what? That's going to be double. Unless you can drive it there. That option keeps the price down. But then you're going to have to talk taxes and duties, which can be anywhere between 12 and 30%. And it's going to depend on your vehicle and on the customs guy's opinion of your vehicle.
Yep.
You can get the duties back if you have your permanent pensionado visa. If you wait until you get your visa, then you can get the duty portion back, but you're still going to pay the sales tax and the import tax of 12%. Mm-hmm. Okay, I think that covers it all.
Yep, pretty much.
Let's talk about the South African communities here. I see a lot of them.
I will not
they're
say
entrepreneurs.
communities, but I mean
Yeah.
because community is a whole different thing for me. But there is many South Africans that are moved to Panama. Yes, some of them have moved out of Panama. Some of them are still here. We have some in Boquete.
Oh yeah, I got great friends.
I don't know how
many
many.
have started businesses.
Yeah, some of them, and there is a number in different locations. Yeah.
Right on. Okay. Want to be in. Okay, can't read that. I have a 3-day and 7-day tour book. Ooh, what is the current availability of a nice $1,500 condos for rent? Well, depending where, Daryl, Darlis, along the beaches, there's always availability right now, especially right until December. It'll get really tight.
Yeah, so it depends. Depends if you're looking for the beaches, especially on the Panama West. You have to look according to location. You might want to book or reserve short term, especially if it's short term. You want to book ahead, minimum 4 months before.
And 1,500 is a fine budget to be at.
1,500 long term is a good budget.
Yeah, that's a middle of the road budget. So it's an average, so you won't have an issue. And even in Boquete, that's a great budget. You can get yourself. We just had a couple got themselves a beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath home today for a little less than that.
Yeah, if you can, always you can reach out to us and we can connect you to somebody. And well, when we do the tour, which tour are you coming, by the way?
Yeah, one. I don't have it on the top of my head, so I
thought
it was October.
But if you can reach out to us separately and just reminders the days you're coming and the days you wanna book a place for a specific time, we can help you out.
Yeah, if you need something, Doris, or if you're just coming on the tours to decide on the area and then book, that's fine. But if you're looking to get something for this coming fall, 2026, let myself, Megan, know now, and so we can put you on our list. Okay, Lou asked, Rod, do you still pay taxes? My name is not Rod. Just in case the government's watching. Okay, just kidding.
His name is Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. I'm Rodrigo now. I've changed my name. I arrived here in 2011. And by the end of 2012, I was a tax registered Panamanian full-time resident. So I filed non-residency in Panama, in Canada. Now, that's not for everybody. That's typically not for the person who is receiving pensions, unless you have major other investments you're thinking of moving out of Canada. So that is something you really need to do, get some really, really close advice on, you Canadians, because it made a huge difference for me, because I was still in my income producing years. And although I would never, we pay tax on our company here because it's a Panamanian company. The work that I brought with me, which was I became a remote worker and my clients were mostly from the US, I no longer had to pay tax to Canada on that. And then that's not taxable here in Panama because that's offshore income. So for me, it was a huge benefit becoming a tax independent of Canada. But I still get my pensions. And if I'm going to collect my old age pension, there's a form I have to fill in every year with my income, just like you would always have to. But I don't have to do the T4 thing. So. What taxes are applicable through Social Security versus U.S.? Steve, okay, I'm going to answer this based on what I think you're saying. No, your pensions are not taxed in Panama whatsoever. You don't have to declare them. You don't have to tell Panama how much you make. As long as you're in Panama's territorial tax system. So the only income they tax you on is income you earn in Panama. Now, if that's not what you're asking, please re-ask your question with a bit more detail. Yeah. Okay, well, that's still there. We have our documentation ready to go, but it'd be better to wait a few weeks before we apply because we need transportation. Let me put up on that screen. Maybe I can read it better. We have documents ready to go. Okay, now, first of all, Timothy, does your lawyer, Panamanian lawyer, say, yes, your documents are ready to go? If they don't, then you're not ready to go. So make sure you have a lawyer already that you paid a retainer to. It shouldn't be a big retainer. It should be less than 25% or less. and they will tell you exactly, yes, this stamp is right, this authentication is right. Yes, bring all this stuff. We can file, we can meet when you arrive, and we can file whenever you want to in the next week or two if you're in no rush. It's not a big thing. Need transportation. I don't know where you are filing in Panama City or David. Those are the two locations, but maybe you can clarify if we didn't finish answering that. Okay, this question is for Oscar. I am looking at relocating to either Colombia or Panama. Which would you recommend is the best and why? Oh, tough one, Oscar.
No, it's not tough.
The Colombian living in Panama.
Yeah, but it's not tough. Panama always will be makes more sense for first time, all the way, because it's a dollar country. It's all U.S. dollar, the currency. It's an agile location. There is a lot more compared to Colombia. It's a lot safer. Not saying in Colombia there is no safe spots, but Panama, by far, I get a better sense of safety. There is also, we have America's hub, Panama City, so it's Colombia, Bogota. I would say, try it out first, Panama, all the way, and Colombia is another great option. More affordable to Panama for programs for investment visas and also pensioner relocation. It's a little more affordable in Colombia, especially for investment. So I don't think they have the same pensioner program in Panama, but there is an investment visa. It's only like 80 grand compared to 200 here in Panama. So, but the thing is, in Colombia, you have to be way more adventurous with the language, because Colombians, a small percentage will speak English. Now, Colombians are very well caring people, they care, but you also depends where you are. If you're in a big city, it's like any other big city in the world. So you have to be very street smart. You got to know which location, and I'm more than happy to help you out. Also, if you decide to go to Colombia, I'm more than happy to help you with that. Even if you want to do a private tour down there to check things out, more than happy. But my first option will be Panama. And this is coming from a Colombian, because I do have raising family here in Panama, sorry. And I do love my country. I do sometimes tours, but no relocation tours. I do more like just vacation tours with experts to live here. So Colombia, I will say, it's just it's another option. It's a lot more affordable. It is a different situation according to lifestyle expectations, and also how adventurous you are and how easygoing you are. So, but for any first timer abroad in Latin America, Panama makes way more sense.
Yeah. Panama, I think Panama has one of the most solid visas in the world.
It is.
And it's permanent, especially the pensionado.
It is.
Within 5 months, your visa is permanent.
Yeah.
Your visa in Colombia won't be permanent without investment, if I'm correct. Like the pensionado visa, it's lower. It's only $750 some this month. Yeah, this year.
Yeah, but like I said, so
you got to do it every 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you do investment, it's set to go, and it's not that much, 80 grand investment.
No, yeah.
So if let's say you want to move in a small town outside of Antioquia, to give you a reference, is the department or state or province, we call it, and in Colombia, the capital is Medellin. You can be set too near to Bogota or Cali or other towns. And you can find very safe places in nice investment for agriculture, for farms, and in safe locations. So, but Spanish and the currency is different.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Hey, Deidre, on the qualified investors visa, to get tax residency, do I physically need to be in Panama for tax residency certificate? Absolutely not, Deidre. All visas in Panama, all residency permanent visas, to keep them, to not put them at risk, you must enter Panama once every 2 years. That's the only requirement. Now, what's going to happen is your qualified investors visa, you're going to get that really quick. You're going to have your permanent visa in 30 to 60 days. And then within 30 days, you're going to need to get a cedula, which is your Panamanian national ID. And since you've already, you're probably purchasing something to get the qualified in visa, you're going to need to get your cedula to put it on your title. And with that, you can get, because you have some, you're going to get a tax number because of your corporation or your foundation or your property. You're going to have to pay your annual tax filings, property taxes, stuff like that. That's what gets you your residency certificate. So you don't have to be there for any number of days. You can have a residency certificate in Panama and not live here. It's amazing. Yes, I did it. Well, I did live here, but my residency certificate had nothing to do. It had to do with the cedula and show that I had money activity with the government here. So I paid property tax bill or something.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We will be okay. Here's the other answer. I started to answer Timothy. So, how long can we wait before applying for the pensionado visa? Well, your documents are only good for 6 months. Meaning, when you got your FBI background check, if you're from the U.S., the date it was issued, you must apply 6 months after, like within 6 months of that day. Now, your marriage certificate, the day that you downloaded it and reissued it, that has 6 months. Your pension letters, those have 6 months. So it's not, you're allowed to stay in 180 days. And basically, you could wait right until the end because you get a temporary visa right away when you apply for the pensionado visa. But your documents won't be valid anymore. So you have to, that's why if you're trying to do that and wait, some people are retiring just before, around the time they're retiring, and they haven't got their letter and their first pension checks yet.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to extend it. Don't let your documents expire, and make sure they are stamped all correctly, not by what you read on the internet, because half of that is wrong. Okay, well, 3/4 of that is wrong. You need to have the right documents and everything stamped and authenticated and properly done. And then get that document like 1 month before you come, and then you're good. Apply 4 months after you've been here, and your timeline's good. You just don't want to get in a situation. I've seen it. You meet with the lawyer and you go to immigration, and it's November or December, and they're on holidays for a week. Yeah. Oh, we missed our date. We got to start the whole process over again.
It's easy, but you gotta just the right timing, like what you say.
Yeah. Thanks for the tip, Monique. I forgot to do that, to go full screen when I was sharing that map. I apologize. Okay. Now, this question is for Oscar specifically.
Carlos, bueno, la pregunta fue en español. Should I respond in Spanish? The question was in Spanish.
I know, but read it for the people.
All right, so Carlos Reyes
which are the best months for eating?
To take the tour of the 7-day tour. Carlos, you let me know if you want me to answer in Spanish. So the best time is the worst time you're more afraid of. So let's say you're afraid of the dry season or the rain season, then you want to take the 7-day tour on either of those times.
Mm-hmm.
That's the best advice I can give you. But you know, Panama has a strong rainy season. It's not the worst rainy season in Latin America. You know, I have learned which country has the worst rainy season in the whole Latin America.
Yeah,
Colombia.
Colombia. Okay.
So that being said, like I every year in Cali, growing up in Cali, my neighborhood or some neighborhoods nearby will be the rivers flooded, the parking lots on the ground will be flooded, cars will be flooding, floating, and it does not change.
Yeah.
It does modify things, but it's still flooding. So rain in Colombia is unbearable. So the rain in Panama compared to Colombia is just this.
I get asked this question all the time. I don't want to. I hate rain all day long for days on end. That's not what happened. Look at today. We had a beautiful day. I was walking. I was dying from the sunshine in David because I was walking down the street this morning.
But the thing is, people don't realize that some people have strong opinions about the rainy season in some areas in Panama, especially in Chiriquí. Oh, it rains every day. It's just too much rain. That's false because it rains mostly in the rainy season. Rains only in the afternoons.
Yeah.
Maybe afternoons and it stops. Maybe it starts in the evening or just in the afternoon. It's all overcast, a little mist, and then the rain comes by 5 p.m. Today was one of the days that it works. We have a gorgeous morning, beautiful, sunny. And some areas were a little overcast. I was in Puerto Rico doing my first lesson of disc golf. Can you imagine that?
Disc
golf.
Disc golf.
And I was in Puerto Rico, so it was a little overcast. But the weather here is like Florida. If people that are familiar with Florida weather, is very bipolar. So if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes or so. So, but by noon, literally, the clouds start covering up and it started raining more. Now in Boquete, in this area, we have a little more rains because we're close to the continental divide, to the Atlantic. That's why.
We have an average, and I try to explain the average like this. Rainy season is April through November, but it's progressive.
Progressive, yeah.
Meaning in April, it's once, maybe twice a week.
Maybe,
by September, it's 3 or 4 times a week. And in October, November, it's 5 times a week.
Yeah.
That you'll get an afternoon shower. So
in this moment, we're having, last week we have a dry week.
We had no rain.
Every day, no rain.
We had a sprinkle.
This week, we have it rain every day. In the afternoon.
You just don't know.
So meaning the mornings are always sunshine. You can do your errands, your outdoor sports, anything you want. In the afternoon, just sit back with a cup of coffee. So Carlos, let me know if you're clear on that, and let me know where you're from.
Also, Carlos, I know we do our tours in English. Tell them in Spanish. We do our tours in English, but we want to try
in English, but privately always. But yeah, I mean,
Okay. Michael, can we do the 7-day tour in November? I'll tell you what, Michael, I'm going to put the link in the chat, and I'm going to say, yes, you can do it if you're one of the 3 last people to book it. We'd love to have you.
Michael, come with us. November is a great month. It's a Patriot Month of Panama.
Lots of decorations.
A lot of decorations because we celebrate 2 very important days. Most 2 important days is the 3rd November, independence from Colombia, and the 28th, independence from Spain. We also have another holidays is the shout out of independence, which I think it's the 7th of November. The Grito Los Santos. Los Santos.
Yeah, Los Santos, yeah.
So, but only affects in some area. But the national big holidays in the 3rd and the 28th.
Yeah. Okay. Questions are, Bill, can you get a general medical proxy from a hospital or medical clinic, or do you have to secure? No, you need a medical directive in Panama from a Panamanian lawyer. And we talk deeply about that in our members area, from wills to end-of-life care to medical directives, all that stuff. So that a hospital cannot give you that. They're going to keep you alive forever. Jonathan, have you heard of a service called My Baggage? Absolutely have, John. It's not something we recommend. It's a little over the top in pricing. We have many, like there's 120 companies in Panama that do mail forwarding out of Florida into Panama on a daily basis. So there are many, many options. They will range from sea freight to air freight, from $1 a pound to $5 a pound, many services in between. We have them all. I've looked at My Baggage, and typically they're using things like UPS and DHL, as opposed to Mailbox, etc., who buys cargo on an airplane. They buy like 20-foot container on an airplane and they fill it every day with stuff. And you change your address, your Amazon address to your Miami address, and the stuff is flown here and ends up here within a couple of days for a fraction of the cost what DHL or FedEx would charge, or my baggage would. Okay, mine is. Monica Banks, we're talking about visiting Panama. You have a timeshare in Panama? I didn't even know they had timeshares in Panama.
So not that common, but there
Yeah,
exists.
not very common at all, and we will. Okay, that's not a question. Best time. Okay, we answered that. Hey, Carlos, he's practicing his Spanish. Okay, good for you, Carlos.
Yeah. No. I mean, Carlos. Yeah. So, if you have any further questions, just let us know. But the best time is the time that you feel might be the most challenging, so you get more grabs of Panama.
Hey, Stephanie. I've been a renter. So has Oscar. We've both been renters since we've been here. We have paid as little as $400 a month to a high of $950 a month.
Actually, I used to pay.
Oh no, you
200.
Yes, you paid
$20 a
200.
month.
That apartment was fine.
Yeah, that was a long time ago
Yeah.
when I was single, and I was.
And
paying for
it's
the
still
studio.
available for around that price.
Yeah.
The studio.
Actually, back in 2011, I used to pay. It's like a studio for $140 a month,
Yeah.
right in town.
But there are still stuff in Boquete in town I've seen that are decent, starting at $400
Yeah,
and going up to $1,000 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath.
yeah.
All depend what
What is
amenities you need.
Yes.
Do you need granite countertops? Do you need stainless steel appliances? Like, do you need stuff like that, or just the basics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Ronald, how much are your tours? Okay, let's take a look at our tours. Now, the 3-day Cherokee Highlands tour, it is $12.95 for a single, $18.95 for a couple, 4 nights, 3 days, all inclusive. And our group tours are $24.95 for a single and $39.95, 7 nights, 6 days, all inclusive.
Now, remember to point out there that price you will pay, you probably will save, even though let's say you want to discover Panama on your own, you will pay more and you will not get the context.
You would never get to the destinations Oscar gets to do in 7 days.
And also the relationship we have built for many years. So that being said, our services is a very fair, affordable investment for save you hassle and trouble in the future. As long as you let us help you.
Hey, Alan, the Medicare question. All right, you're in Social Security and you pay for Medicare. So Medicare Part A is obviously free. So you're looking at Part C and D, which is something like an Advantage plan, I would assume. Now, Advantage plans, most of them work when you travel outside of the country. Now, you need to check with your Advantage plan yourself because they're all different of how long you can be outside of the country every year. Because if you're limited to 6 months or 180 days, then that's not really going to work for you if you're planning on living here. But if you're planning on living here half the year, that works perfect for you. There are even some hospitals in David and Panama City that will direct bill Medicare Advantage plans. Your Medicare Part A has no use here whatsoever. It's not taken, not registered. This is not the United States. But your Medicare, as you know, your Part C, Part D plans are private insurance companies. Many of them have partnered around the world with different hospitals. But it is for emergencies only. Emergencies only. We've recently heard of the guy who went to, wasn't feeling well, and he was told he needed a heart stent. He lives here now. He's lived here for many years. And he doesn't live in the States, but every year he's, fibbed on his medical renewal form that he lives at this zip code. just so he could get coverage here. And then he asked his doctor, well, when can I get this done? And is it covered under my Medicare Advantage? And they told him no, because it's not an emergency. He needs a heart stent, but he can get it done in the next month or two and he'll be fine. So it is for emergencies only. Hey, Deirdre, if I buy a property residence for the sole purpose of renting it out investment, do I have to open a company for tax purchases, or can the income therefore be paid personally? Either way, Deirdre, it's up to you. If you're planning to open up more than one, I would. There's not huge liability, situations here. It's not as if the renter's going to trip on your front porch and sue you, because it's just not going to happen here.
Doesn't exist here.
But if you're opening multiple, if you're going to have multiple properties and rentals, and you're going to have employees, that's when you need to get your corporation. But a corporation here is $1,500, $500-600 a year in fees, lawyer, residence agency, and filing fees. It's not that expensive.
And also, if you go to that level at some point, then you want to have got a good insurance broker to get your primary insurance just to cover yourself and cover the property. That's it.
Yeah, because if you want to, if you're going to have one property or two, and you're going to have an on-site manager and employee and pay payroll, you don't want that person that they can sue you for. Okay, right, Oscar?
Yep.
Okay. Do pets need a passport to read? No, they don't. We don't accept pet passports. Sorry. Nope, they don't. They need if they're moving here or just traveling here, it's check out our website and just search in the search bar for pets. You'll find the steps needed to move a pet to Panama or to bring a pet to Panama from the US and Canada. It's a simple 24-step procedure that you got to get done in 10 days. Okay, what's the average cost of a lawyer for the retirement visa? I know how much US lawyers charge. Okay, hey Jack, the average cost, I'm going to say the average cost is about $1,600. So that is for the entire 6-month process. Some might say 12, some might say 2,000. Your average is going to be 1,600. Your average expenses on top of the lawyer, you're probably looking at 800 to 1,000 for the first person and another 300 for the dependent. That includes everything from translations, stamps, multiple entry stamps, your temporary and your permanent cards. They cost $50 each time, so that's 200 just for a couple. Like all those things. So if you're looking at a pensionable for a single, it should be under 2,500. Could be 22, 25. And the best lawyer is never the cheapest lawyer. And so that's what we found. And for a couple, 3,000, 2,800 maybe. Maybe 3,000 if you have a private pension because there's more work to do. So those are the approximate prices we've seen over the last few years.
I have learned a couple of stories recently about how people came to Panama by looking at experience advice on Facebook groups. And there is some people that actually gave up because they hired some lawyer.
Yeah.
They were somebody mentioning and please PM me. So they
I was reading that. Yeah.
And it was such a gunshot. They're moving to Panama.
They gave up their dream because they're sitting on Facebook trying to get free advice on how to move to Panama. Whenever someone posts there, I'm looking for a lawyer in Panama City, half of the replies are lawyer trolls. I'm sorry, I might say that, and one of them's going to sue me. I don't care. I'm not naming anyone.
You're not mentioning anybody.
They are lawyers or the staff of lawyers promoting themselves. We would never, ever refer a lawyer like that. If they have to get business off of Facebook, they need to go get another job.
That being said, that doesn't mean there is good people out there. But it's hard to judge. It is hard to judge. It is hard to know who is who. You don't know. You really don't know.
Yeah, for sure. So getting how do you solve that? Simple. You saw at the beginning our Panama Total Access Pass. Come on, guys. It is simply like $500, $497. And you can totally have every contact that we know. And if you guys do some search on us, Google our reputation, our TripAdvisor reviews, our Google reviews. We have impeccable reputation.
No, just to give you a note on that full access pass is that the gold members, you have the only difference between platinum and gold is the platinum, you get full access to the three of us anytime,
including our phone number, personal phone number.
The gold pass is more limited.
Yeah,
that's why. But you still have this service. You still have everything, all the location, everything. But with the platinum, which is every single person that comes in a tour gets the platinum access, no matter what.
Yeah.
There is no extra charge. You don't have to pay extra. The book is already included in the tour. The previous guests that came in the past, we are already shipping all abroad into Panama, US, Canada, other countries. The book, this gorgeous book that this guy made. This book, and
sorry,
nobody's seen it, but I see this.
Oh,
this is
like it's split up into the members area, the book, and the experts for a reason. The book is going to teach you a lot about Panama.
Yep.
The book doesn't have the list of the handwritten. No. That's what we have, a digital members area that you click on a button, fill in a form, and get connected to all the best experts.
I can see this handsome guy right there
in Panama. Is that me? You're showing it me? Oh, no. Yeah. So, yes, the book is full color, but it's 500 pages of just everything, the culture, the history, the processes, and what to expect, and what to expect about Latin America. Is different than North America.
Yeah. And in Latin America, depends where you are in Latin America.
So we can't highly suggest, you won't get a bad lawyer with this members area. You won't get a bad rentals experience. You're going to get the top people in the country helping you with your move.
There's one thing that is we're humans, and any situation, anybody can be discomfort, miscommunication, anything. That's why you have the backup.
That's why you have us.
So let's say somebody got a misunderstanding about buying a property or something. There was miscommunication with a real estate agent or whoever, and that person will reach out to us and we'll be jumping on your behalf because we are your shield and your sword when you need to.
Yeah.
So that's one of the main things that define us.
Perfect. Okay, we're going to wind up the last few questions here. We're looking to move to Panama in the next 12 months. You should retain your lawyer approximately 3 to 4 months before you're landing here and want to start the process. Oscar, tell us about Farallon, because I've actually never been there.
Farallon.
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 Yeah. Okay.
So Farallon, the double L is like a Y.
Yeah.
By the way. So that's Farallon is right by Rio Hato, which is right next to the airport Riviera. They have direct flights from Canada to Panama, back and forth, and it has season 3 times a week. It's a beautiful beach, gorgeous beach. I love it. I really love it. Farallon has the all-inclusive resorts. It has boutique hotels. About residential, there might be some, but not that many because it's full focus on tourism. But close to Farallon, you have Panama West, you have Rio Hato, you have San Carlos, Palmar, Vista Mar, Buenaventura, JW Buenaventura, which is top-notch of the high-end gated communities. It's like a Disneyland for adults.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. Okay, Oscar, we have this Jorge fellow that's he's from Calgary, Alberta. Do you know any Jorge guy?
That's my Jorge from Cali.
Just talking about
you.
Talking
about him. The news about the new member.
How are you?
The new member. And he's my brother. He's from a hometown like me, and he lives happily with his wife, a gorgeous, beautiful little girl
in Calgary, Alberta.
Yeah.
Cool.
My man.
All right. No, we don't know anything about Boquete. Never been there. 30 years.
Boquete, it is so much diversity, different places to be living according to your lifestyle. Could be more remote, could be more in the center, could be you're spending affordable rent or more high end. If you're looking into investment, can go from a couple hundred to several million. All depends what you're looking for. So Boquete has a little bit everything. It's a very agile location in the Chiriquí province. It's the capital tourism of the whole Chiriquí province. And from Boquete, downtown Boquete to the airport or David, you can connect to North America in one day. It's only 45 minutes. There is 4 flights daily, 2 with Air Panama, 2 with Copa, every day. So that Boquete is only 20 minutes, 25 minutes, maximum 30 to David. David is the capital of the Chiriquí province, which have all the main commerce of the whole province, also main hospitals, private hospitals, public hospitals, shopping, beach towns close by, Barqueta, with an hour and a half, 2 hours, you got the Chiriquí Gulf, you have Las Lajas Beach, so it's a prime location for Chiriquí.
I'm going to clip that recording. That was one of the best explanations of Boquete I've heard in a long time. Oscar said it all. We love it here, like we just do. But
I've been almost
we would love to
16
show it to
years,
you.
so that's why it was pretty quick.
Yeah. Reality crypto. Hey, good point. By the way, I'm from Saskatchewan too. I was born in Regina and born and raised there. Yeah. In Saskatchewan, when we get 1/10 of an inch, like 3 millimeters, we dance. In Panama, the average afternoon rains like today is 1 inch an hour.
Yeah.
But it's only in the afternoon. Stephanie, yes, that price is we're telling. I just moved to my place here, right downtown, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, gated, like with a totally fenced in, with a gate with a covered carport, for $600 fully furnished. I lived there for 2.5 years. Loved it down there. Okay. So if somebody's only interested in living in Boquete, now, Stephen, is that because you've been here already? Because if you haven't, we might recommend a 7-day also. It all depends on you.
Well, Steve, so you're Boquete, you could possibly do the 3-day. However, seeing the rest of the country, you will give you very invaluable knowledge of the country in different areas. You get to check out spots that you might want to see, regardless of Boquete. And just to have the knowledge is always good to have, and the experience. So, in my opinion, the 7-day tour, to understand the country, to understand different parts of the culture, is the best bet to go. You can always do the 3-day also, just focus on Boquete in the Chiriquí Highlands. But if you really want to interest about the country itself, take the 7-day tour.
Yeah.
It really will allow you to understand, because there is a saying in Panama. There is Panama City and the rest of the country, meaning every single province does things differently. And you want to see that and experience that.
Yeah.
And with us, you will do that.
Yeah, our profile, this is the last question. We have to end because we're going to get booted because we've gone over time. Our makeup on our 3-day tour is typically people's second visit to Panama.
Yeah.
And many of them, we can't believe how many have been on a competitor's tour.
Yeah.
And they don't, and then they're coming on this because they like the Boquete Cherokee region most, and they want to explore it most. So a lot of times it is for people on the second look. But then again, you have the people who know, I don't want to live in 90-degree heat.
No. I'm not saying
that's
the
a tour
purpose
for you.
of living in the heat, but just to learn about the country.
Yeah.
That's the only purpose of it.
Yeah. Okay, we are done. Everyone's saying goodbye. All right, folks, it was wonderful to have you all tonight.
Thank you all tonight. Thank you to my brother, Jorge.
There we go. Jorge, how are you? I don't know where he is.
Jorgito.
Yeah, Flusto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He was on YouTube. There he is. Jorge, yay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty. Oscar has a fan club all the way from Canada. My Canadian friends are watching tonight. Where are they?
Very grateful and honored to have all of you in our Q&A tonight, like every Thursday. What are we going to say every other? It's every Thursday.
Oh, it's been every Thursday.
Every Thursday.
Well,
So
because you're every other, because you're doing a tour every other week.
yeah, I'm doing.
So this
That's
is-
why. That's why.
Yeah.
It's like. So anyway,
But
thank
you'll be here
you,
next week.
every single one of you, to join us tonight, to investing in this time to learn, to get to know us. For those that we hope that we can make a decent impression to you. Check us out on TripAdvisor, Facebook, Google. We're just here to make sure to facilitate a better transition to a new home, to a new dream.
Cool. All right. Good night, everybody.